The road ahead. The summer came to an end, and Dan faced a difficult. I don't know what difficult he faced, but he faced a difficult. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, after additional consideration, I'd like to augment my recommendation. I believe the best course of action for Tommy's development will be continued tutoring throughout the school year. It will be important to coordinate with his teachers and make sure the lessons are aligned. As before, encouragement from both of you is a critical component. Mr. Kaplan, I have observed that Tommy looks to you in particular for validation, which I believe comes from a connection he's made with your profession. If at all possible, you should be a part of his tutoring, although Mrs. Kaplan is more than capable of aiding him as well. I hope I haven't overstepped my boundaries by contacting you, but Tommy is a bright boy, and I think with the proper support, he can not only catch up, but excel. I understand you'll be leaving town shortly, but please don't hesitate to contact me by phone during the school year if I can be of help. Dr. Donald Samuels. Okay. So it looks like it's coming down to the wire for his kid again.
Barb, by the time you get this, we'll be on our way home, so don't write me back here. It's hard to believe this summer's almost over. So much has happened. The show, getting used to life up here, painting more than I have in years, losing Grandma Jo, figuring out where Dan and I are. Part of me doesn't want to leave, but I know it's time. They say you can't go home again. I think I know what that means now. I don't have it in me to explain everything here, but things will never be the same. I don't even know what home I'm going back to. The only thing I do know is that I'm ready to start painting again. For real, like I did before Tommy. I'm scared and excited and nervous all at the same time. I just wish I knew how we were going to make it work. I hope this finds you well. Yours, Linda.
Something just occurred to me. Linda is a painter. Dan is a writer. That's a pairing that usually doesn't, make out for a good financial situation. Because 2 artists usually equals 0 income. Ever. So. Odd. Interesting. I mean, I don't know. I should really notice it more. Well, he's getting along with his father just fine. That's great to see. What do we have in the bedroom? Anything going on in here? Another journal on the table. There's a journal over there, too.
This could be it. An associate professorship at Hardesty? It's entry-level, sure, but everyone has to start somewhere, and it's the perfect situation for writing. The sabbatical program alone makes the job worth it, and the thought of actually working with Professor May? Wait, I guess I'd be calling him Philip now. That'll take some getting used to. But moving's a big step. I can't imagine a new school with new kids would be easy for Tommy. I know staying in Laurenton would be better for him and Linda, but they aren't handing out professorships on the corner. This isn't the kind of offer you pass up without a very good reason. But I might have 2 good reasons. Tried to sleep on it last night. What a joke. You have to be able to sleep for that to work.
Well, this is very unique. He's got a big chance with his career.
I just talked things over with Dan, and we really have some serious thinking to do. The job at Hardesty sounds like a great opportunity for him, but moving would be so hard on us. I really want to join Art for All, and after everything we've been through with Tommy, it would be better for him to have some stability. I could even go full-time if Dan found a steady job, though I know he can't do that if he takes on extra tutoring with Tommy, and I'd never fault him for that. If we stay in Laurenton and Dan works with Tommy, I could still do the program part-time. Either way, it'd be better for Tommy and me than moving. But I know that professorship would mean so much to Dan. Can't everything be simple just once? I just talked things over with Dan, and we really have some serious thinking to do. The job at Hardesty sounds like a great opportunity for him, but moving would be so hard on us. I really want to join Art for All, and after everything we've been through with Tommy, it would be better for him to have some stability. I could even go full-time if Dan found a steady job, though I know he can't do that if he takes on extra tutoring with Tommy, and I'd never fault him for that. If we stay in Laurenton and Dan works with Tommy, I could still do the program part-time. Either way, it'd be better for Tommy and me than moving. But I know that professorship would mean so much to Dan. Can't everything be simple just once?
Oh my god! What type of a horrifying choice is this to make?
He'll understand that.
You nearly caught me. Come back here. There we go. What have we got going on?
How long's the drive?
2 hours. We'd have to move.
Oh god. This isn't looking good.
Haven't had a drink on a weeknight in 2 weeks. Came up with a new slogan. Write sober, rewrite sober, rewrite sober. Hemingway it's not, but it's good to smooth things over with Linda and Tommy a bit. Gotta admit, I don't miss hangovers, but still, I do sometimes miss sitting down with a drink and a crazy idea.
Suffering the loss, which is not being able to be dependent on alcohol. You know, you win some, you lose some. Okay, where's Linda? There's Tommy. Linda? Oh, what a crock.
Maybe like...
Okay, I've got him. Ugh, I'm playing a dicey game. What do we got going on, Tommy? Still kinda if with his father? What's going on here?
What about my friends?
You'd make new ones, buddy.
And then... Hey, check out this one.
Nicely done.
Come on. Jeez. Controls are a little bit finicky on this.
Dan and I had a great talk tonight after Tommy went to bed. I could tell it was hard for him, but he admitted that his drinking had gotten out of hand. I guess sometimes you just need to hear it from someone else. He even gave jogging a shot, and I think that might have been the biggest wake-up call. He couldn't even get through half a mile without being winded. He's sticking with it, though, and I'm glad we have our nights back again.
Well, it is good to see that their relationship is better. Oh, no, wait.
You can say it. If I got a real job.
I could even go full-time if...
Oh my god. That's really what it comes down to here. It comes down to her profession versus his profession versus Tommy's education. That's the entire point of the chapter. The future, the road ahead. Is it his chance to be a professor? Is it her chance to be a full-time artist? Or is it Tommy's? This is such a hard decision to make, and there's really no way that I think no compromise is going to do the job either. It's just someone is going to horribly, horribly lose out. And I cannot in confidence say that it belongs to Tommy. I can't in confidence say that... I cannot with full confidence, there we go, that's the word that I want to use. I cannot with full confidence say that it belongs to any of them. I mean, I can kind of see Linda not getting her way because, well, she's been out of being an artist for so long. It would be disappointing not to go back into it. House for more clues. Oh, I missed a clue for Dan. Mr. Kaplan, we have reached a decision and are pleased to offer you the position of Assistant Professor of Literature. We have many applications for the position, and after careful review, we feel your history with the university and your status as a published author will give you a unique connection to our students. We apologize for the lateness of the decision, but administrative adjustments delayed our annual budget review and the position was only recently approved for hire. Professor Strode will handle your course load until September 21st, at which point you will take over classes. We will provide temporary housing for you during this speedy transition, but need your answer as soon as possible. Your offer letter is enclosed. Please sign and return it at your earliest convenience. Thomas Castle, Literature Department Chair, Hardesty University. And that's probably supposed to be Harvard, not Hardesty, or something like that. I don't know. Okay, search the house for more clues with Dan. More clues with Dan. It was about Tommy. This one?
Barb. By the...
I already got that one. What the heck? Where's the other... Okay, here we go. Something on the table over here. Linda, I'm pleased to meet you. Well, by letter anyway. I'm surprised we've never met, considering how small the art community is. But from your letter, it sounds like you may not have been as active as you'd have liked for a few years. Regardless, I'm very excited to tell you more about our work here. At a high level, the program is simple. We're a collective of artists who use our work for the betterment of our city. We host fundraiser galleries, donate our work to charity auctions, and teach art classes. We offer both paid and unpaid courses, and all proceeds from the paid courses go to local charities, usually the food bank. Our free courses are part of a pioneer program we've recently started, where we provide a safe place for victims of violence, members of our local AA chapter, and even parolees trying to get back on their feet. The program is still in its early stages, but we've been very pleased with the results. It's a very exciting time. Anyways, you'll find more details in the enclosed information packet. I'd love to talk to you about joining in person when you return to Lauderton. Rachel Pittman, founder, Art for All. Well, this complicates things a bit. It seems like the group that Linda wants to join, Art for All, is it's fully non-profit. So it seems like all of her art that she would be doing, she wouldn't be getting paid for it, probably. I'm not entirely certain. I mean, it's a little bit unreasonable to imagine. It's a little bit unreasonable to imagine that Linda wouldn't be paid at all for her work, but that seems to be what the contents of the letters carry. That's the idea that they're delivering to me. Hardesty University, CO Thomas Castle, 902 Braithwaite Lane, Blairstown, Oregon. Over here?
Paul, there were days when I thought this moment would never come. When I finish writing this, I'm going to pack everything up and drop the manuscript in the mail. My palms are sweating just thinking about letting it go. I had no idea how hard it would be to finish this one. It took everything I had, and it's hard to look back over the summer without laughing. To think the plan was to get away from everything and just focus on the book. But you can't get away from yourself. Life doesn't give a damn about geography. I don't know when you'll get this or where we'll be when you do, or what you'll think. I know what I think, but objectivity left the building months ago. Some days I think this is the one. Other days I have a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach that says my career is over. All I can do is drop this in the mail and hope. Here goes.
Oh boy. So I think that's everything. Read his thoughts, read her thoughts. Okay, I already read their thoughts, but it appears that... Oh no, wait. Oh, I'm always messing this up. And Dan, just drop the envelope in the mail. Okay. And Tommy. Is he up here? No, he's not. Is he downstairs? Getting a real job. That bugs me. That so bugs me. Is Tommy? There he is. Show my friends my new backpack at school. I don't know what to say. I mean, I really don't know what to say. Oh my god, how do I choose? How do I choose? How do I choose? How do I choose? Whose future am I supposed to tell Dan to chase? His own, his wife's, or his son's? Oh my god. The envelope, the painting, or the backpack. I've also got a sneaking suspicion that I can't make a compromise on any of these. Oh, man. Alright, I'm trying not to think too hard on this. Let's do it! Oh! It is the middle of the night. I can find out a little bit more backstory. Can I? Is there any backstory? I got a feeling that there's no journals in here this time around. They're leaving tomorrow and they have left the canvases. What the hell? Whisper to Dan and finish the story. Yep, I can't choose a compromise. It's one of the three, no compromise. It's just a life direction. It's a decision that's set in stone. You can't adjust or improve upon such a radical choice that you have to make. Either start working 9 to 5 to support your wife, or put the time in to help your son develop, you know, his learning and everything, or toss those out the window and focus on your career. No backstory. No compromises. Only one choice. Dan, I know what you need to do. I've made up my mind. Dan agonized over the decision, but in the end, he couldn't pass up the opportunity to take a professorship. A job with a steady paycheck that revolved around his craft gave him the hope that writing could finally become his future, that he could devote his professional life to it and make his dreams a reality. He signed and mailed the offer letter the next morning. Tommy didn't handle the relocation well. His first year of school had been hard enough, but being a stranger on his first day of the new year, surrounded by children who had already known each other, was even harder. It took him months to adjust, and he never understood why they'd have to move and start over. While Linda understood why Dan had accepted the position at Hardesty, it did nothing to erase her disappointment over leaving Lauderton. Blairstown had no programs like Art for All, but she refused to give up on her painting, and she put on a successful gallery in November. Her only regret was the feeling that she'd had to do it on her own, that her husband didn't truly support her career. And that's how the Kaplan's summer in the house on the cliff came to an end. It was much more than just a single season on the coast. Dan's choices there would come to define the rest of his life. Paul was floored when he got Dan's final draft. Groverfield literally stopped the presses on the other books to meet demand for Dan's, and that November he won the National Book Award. His career took off, and after almost a dozen more novels, he retired as one of the most respected authors in American literature. But by the time Tommy went back to school, he was in no better shape than when they'd come to the house. He continued to struggle with reading, withdrew into himself to avoid the bullying, and never followed his passion for drawing. He stayed in his shell through high school, where he got along but never thrived. By his 20s, he had settled into a life with forgettable jobs and few close friends. By the end of the summer, Dan and Linda were in a happier place, and their relationship had grown solid. Dan had proven his commitment with his actions, and the lessons they learned that summer served them well. As they grew old, they looked back on that summer, always seeing it as the time their love took root for good. Dan would look back on that summer from time to time and wonder why he had made the choices he had. He never quite shook the feeling that the voice in his head had been more than just a voice, and in quiet moments he even imagined that he had been a character in someone else's novel. At times, he was almost sure of it. Well, everyone, that's not necessarily the ending that I was hoping for, though I don't think that any ending that you get in this game is the ending that you truly want. That, my friends, has been The Novelist. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I have playing it. And, by all means, check it out on Steam if you want to see another type of ending, because there are multiple, obviously all based on the way that you direct the family and what type of decisions you make. But, until next time, I am William Strife, and this has been The Novelist. One heck of a narrative-heavy and extremely emotionally charged game. I'll see you later. Strife out.